The old house creaked. Shadows danced on the walls. 10-year-old Emily hugged herself, shivering in the dim light. She had just inherited the house from her grandmother. Emily wandered into her grandmother's room. On the bed lay a beautiful porcelain doll. Emily carefully picked it up. Its blue eyes seemed to pierce right through her. As she drifted off to sleep, the house settled around her. A low creak echoed through the silence. She glanced at the doll. It seemed different somehow. Its head was tilted slightly, and the moonlight glinted off its glassy eyes. The next morning, Emily could have sworn she heard something. A faint whisper seemed to come from the doll. "Emily," it seemed to say. She brushed it off as her imagination. But the whispers continued. They always came at night, soft and low. One night, the whisper was clearer. "Your grandmother," it hissed. Emily felt a shiver crawl up her spine. The voice sounded exactly like her grandmother. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. "The necklace," the doll whispered one night. "Grandmother always promised it to me." Emily remembered the beautiful sapphire necklace her grandmother always wore. It was now hers, locked away in a safe. The doll's whispers painted a picture of her grandmother, a woman driven by greed and envy. It spoke of broken promises, stolen inheritances, and a family torn apart by secrets. Emily felt a cold dread creep into her heart. She could no longer deny the reality of the whispers. The doll was alive. Emily tried to ignore the doll, to pretend she didn't hear the whispers that followed her everywhere. But the secrets it revealed were like cracks in a dam, slowly but surely breaking down her defenses. The doll's whispers were no longer just revealing secrets. They were making demands. The doll's voice grew stronger, more demanding. "Bring me the necklace, Emily," it hissed. "It's mine. It was always meant to be mine." One night, Emily woke with a start. The doll was no longer on the shelf. She found it on the floor, staring at her with those cold blue eyes. "You will bring me the necklace," the doll whispered, its voice sharp and menacing, "or you will regret it." Terror coiled in Emily's stomach. The doll was no longer content with whispering. It was making demands. Emily backed away, her heart pounding in her chest. The doll's gaze followed her every move. Fear, cold and paralyzing, gripped her. She knew she had to get out of the house to escape the doll's malevolent presence. But her legs felt like lead. She was trapped. Days turned into weeks. The doll's demands grew more insistent, more threatening. Emily lived in a state of constant fear. One day, Emily found the doll sitting at the kitchen table, a cup of tea in front of it. "I like my tea with a bit of sugar," the doll said, its voice dripping with malice. Emily backed away slowly, her heart hammering in her chest. The doll was no longer content with whispering. It was acting on its own. Emily's world shrank. She stopped going to school, stopped answering the phone. Her once bright eyes were now clouded with fear, her laughter silenced by the constant presence of the doll. The doll had become her jailer, and her fear was its prison bar. She was trapped, living a nightmare she couldn't escape. One night, Emily decided she couldn't take it anymore. She grabbed the doll, ran outside, and threw it in the trash. She slept soundly that night for the first time in weeks. But when she woke up, the doll was back in her room, sitting on her bed. It smiled at her, a chilling, triumphant smile. Emily knew then that she would never be free. The doll was hers now, a sinister companion that would haunt her for the rest of her days. The house creaked. Shadows danced on the walls. Emily sat on her bed, staring at the doll. It stared back, its blue eyes cold and empty. The whispers had stopped, but the silence was somehow even more terrifying. The doll was waiting, and Emily knew that the worst was yet to come.
This was the story of Emily. Thanks for joining me in uncovering the terrifying secrets of the Whispering Doll. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, have a horror story you'd like me to cover? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. I'm always watching. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, check out The Masked Stranger. A mysterious person in a mask keeps appearing on Halloween night, knowing too much about their victims. Click here to watch. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Beyond the Fear for more spine-tingling stories.